Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Cleaning Hero Squad, where we tackle the toughest cleaning challenges and transform even the most hopeless places into sparkling clean havens. Today, we have an unbelievable story for you. This was once a beautiful home, cherished and admired, but now it's almost unrecognizable. Food scraps are scattered everywhere, the smell is unbearable, and the place feels completely ruined. Why did this happen? What caused this once lovely home to fall into such a miserable state? And most importantly, can we bring it back to life? Stick with us to find out. This is going to be one of the most challenging and emotional cleanups we've ever faced. Let's start with the first impression as we step inside this house. The moment you open the door, you're greeted by a smell so strong it nearly knocks you off your feet. It's a pungent mix of rotting food, stale air, and neglect. It's heartbreaking to think this used to be someone's pride and joy. The air was thick and oppressive, carrying a foul stench that turned your stomach the moment you stepped inside. It was the kind of smell that clung to your clothes and made you instinctively cover your nose. Dust coated every surface like an unwanted reminder of how long this place had been forgotten. Furniture was buried under heaps of clutter, random belongings tossed carelessly, mismatched clothes scattered on the floor, and old crumpled papers stacked in corners. Among the chaos, rotting food was everywhere. Plates with crusted leftovers, leaking containers, and half-filled cups of sour liquid. The mix of decay, musty air, and filth created a nauseating atmosphere that felt unbearable. It wasn't just a neglected house, it was a heartbreaking glimpse into abandonment and disorder, leaving a heavy sense of sadness hanging in the air. The amount of trash inside the house was truly staggering, beyond anything you could imagine. Every room was overwhelmed with piles upon piles of garbage. There were torn bags spilling their contents onto the floor, broken furniture buried beneath layers of debris, and random items crammed into every available space. Moving through the house felt like navigating a maze of chaos. The smell was unbearable, a nauseating mix of rotting waste, stale air, and mildew, made even worse by the sheer scale of it all. It was impossible not to feel a wave of shock and sadness. This wasn't just a mess. It was the heartbreaking reality of a hoarding disorder left unchecked, transforming a once livable home into an overwhelming scene of despair and hopelessness. As we began clearing away the layers of trash, a nightmare unfolded before our eyes. The moment we disturbed the piles, a flood of insects erupted from the debris, cockroaches scurrying in every direction, their dark bodies darting across the floor and walls. But the worst was yet to come. Buried within the rotting food, we discovered a grotesque sight. Maggots, writhing in thick clusters, feasting on the decayed remnants. The smell was unbearable. It was a scene so vile, so difficult to endure, that even the toughest of us had to fight every instinct to flee. The moment we walked into the bedroom, we were all completely stunned. What lay before us was unimaginable. Right there on the bed, a massive pile of garbage. Cans, plastic bottles, and all sorts of discarded wrappers were stacked high, spilling over like a mountain of neglect. It wasn't just the mess that took us by surprise. This was the result of hoarding and mental health struggles, a condition that had spiraled completely out of control. The owner, unable to manage the overwhelming urge to collect and store everything, had allowed the space to deteriorate into chaos. It was hard to even look at the bed without feeling a deep sense of sadness. The room wasn't just dirty, it was a painful reflection of the emotional and psychological battles the owner had been silently fighting. As we worked, the neighbors couldn't help but express their disgust. They whispered in disbelief, remembering how the homeowner had slowly descended into hoarding. "They used to be so normal," one neighbor said, "but it just got worse. They couldn't stop collecting everything." The smell was unbearable, a mixture of rotting food, mildew, and decay. Even from the street, it was suffocating. The neighbors recoiled, covering their noses, their faces twisted in horror. The stench lingered, a painful reminder of how hoarding had consumed this once livable home. Our team has dealt with many hoarding situations, but this house was unlike any other. While we've seen homes filled with clutter, the extent of neglect here was shocking. It wasn't just that the house was packed with junk, it was the disturbing obsession with collecting trash that stood out. Every inch of the house was overwhelmed by piles of discarded items, accumulated over time. It was as if the owner couldn't stop bringing more and more in, each piece adding to the growing mountain of waste. The sight was haunting, a powerful reminder of how hoarding can completely take over, turning a home into an uninhabitable nightmare. This house, believe it or not, could be the dream home for some people, if you look at it with a bit of humor. A few of us joke that it's the perfect place to start a collection, just not the kind you'd want to have. With piles of clutter and trash everywhere, it certainly has a certain charm in a twisted way. One or two of us even joked about how lucky the owner must feel to have such a spacious place. There's enough stuff here to fill an entire city block. We laugh to keep our spirits up, but in all honesty, this house was a stark reminder of how quickly a dream home can spiral into chaos. Cleaning is about taking control. Each small step makes a big difference. Don't wait until it's overwhelming. Start today. What's the hardest part about keeping your space organized? Let us know in the comments below. And before we go, we want to hear from you. What's the toughest cleaning challenge you've ever faced? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more cleaning tips and amazing transformations. Thank you so much for joining us today. Until next time, stay inspired, stay motivated, and remember, there's no mess too big for the Cleaning Hero Squad. See you soon.